Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this video, in this class, okay, we'll be discussing about loops, okay. We have actually we have been treating control flow, and in control flow, you actually control the flow. How do you want your program to run, okay? We have looked at the the conditions, the if conditions that you use to make decisions and tell your program what to do based on the result of the decision on the condition. You check the condition. If it is true, do this. If it is not true, do that. So in that way, you actually make decisions based on the result of the condition. So, but in this class, we will start with the loops, okay? And when do you use loops? You know, normally our programs run from top to bottom, sequentially from top to bottom. But sometimes you might want to repeat some tasks. Okay, you might want to repeat some tasks. Have you gone to the ATM and if you put in a wrong, they will ask you what is your username. You put in your username. If you put a wrong username, they will keep telling you there is an error. You put a wrong username, they keep telling you an error. So sometimes you need to do some things, some repeated tasks. You need to do some things over and over and over again. You need to do some things like you need to continue to do something until the user enters the right email address or the user enters the right username. Do you understand? You need to do some things for, like, I want to run something for 10 times. I want to do this thing for 10 times. So how do you do that? You use loops. So this is the basic use of loops. You use loops to do something repeatedly. So the first one we are going to discuss in this class today is the while loop. Okay, the while loop. How does it work? Okay, this while loop does something while something is true. Get it? Get it? While loop, you're trying to do something while this thing is true. Now look at it. Let me say I want to print my name while something is true. Okay, and I'll say while. All right, let me just hard code this value true here. I want to print Paulson. You see, this thing will continue to print because I said, look at the statement. I said, while whatever that is inside the parenthesis, while it is true, of course it is true, do this, okay, print Paulson. I can also use something like while 1 is less than 2, print this. Of course, 1 is less than 2, so to keep on printing. But if I say while do this, while 1 is greater than 2, of course, it will not print because the expression inside the parenthesis will not evaluate to true. So once this expression inside the parenthesis evaluate to true, it will always print. I want you to understand the syntax. How do you write a while loop? This is how you write a while loop. You use the keyword while, you open and close parenthesis. Now you now put your condition. What condition do you want to check? Okay, then you open the curly brace, the opening curly brace and the ending curly brace, and then you now put the statement you want to do is that. So you can have plenty statements inside of this code block. Another thing I need to also understand is that the while loop also, you know, we talked about scope, okay, variable scope. The while loop also creates this scope for you and your variables, okay? So now, of course, if we run this, okay, it will not run because 1 is not greater than 2. But if we say 1 is less than 2, this will continue to run until infinity. For it will continue to run forever because you're saying why this thing is true. Print out this thing, and this condition will always be true. So if I run this thing now, it will keep printing, pausing till forever. So this is something we call infinite loop. So I have to stop it. I will have to stop it. If you want to stop it, look at on top of here, just click on this, hover over this, you see stop, or you do shift 5, F5, it will stop. So this thing will continue to run if I don't stop it, okay? Okay, it has stopped. Okay, this is what we call infinite loop. It will keep running till forever. So that means you have to find a way to make sure that this particular condition here evaluates to false at a time. So now let's say we want to print the numbers between 1 to 10, okay? So what do? Let's say we have a constant here, and I would say it's going to be int, and I would say start, I would say start, and we are starting from 0, and I will also say end. It's going to also be an integer, and it's going to be, let's call it end, okay? We want to print from 0 to 10. Okay, let's print from 1 to 10. We are starting from 1, I'm printing from 1 to 10. So I will now, in this condition here, I will now say if start is less than or equal to 10. Okay, if start is less than or equal to 10, I want you to print start. All right, I hope you don't get confused. Okay, I'm just telling the computer what to do, so you can also tell your computer whatever you want to do. But the thing is this, if I do this thing, start will always be 1. Start will always be less than 10, and it will always be 1. So let me show you. If I print this thing now, it will still give us infinite loop. Okay, sorry. Start less than or equal to end, since I already have it there. Okay, so this thing will still give us infinite loop, because start will always be 1, because the value of start here is 1, the value of end here is 10. It will always give us start will always be less than 10, so it will still give us infinite loop. And if I run this thing now, we'll just get 1. It will just be printing 1 forever. It will just be printing 1 forever. So we have to stop it again. All right, we have to stop it again. It has exited, we have to stop it again. So how do you do this? But you have to find a way to make sure that at a point, this expression will evaluate to false so that it can stop. So if I say, here, I will not have to increase, I will have to increment start. Remember the increment, okay, constant. Look at the hair. I want you to understand something here. It says constant variables can be assigned a value. So I will have to change this. I will have to remove it because I'm using a constant. Remember, you cannot change constant. So, but I needed to change. Remember when we did that class about constant, I told you always start with constant. So while you're writing your code, if there's any need, you can now remove it. Okay, here now there is a need, because if I use constant, I will get an error because I cannot change, but here I need to change it. That is why I remove the constant here. So my code is fine. So what will happen is this. Once this code gets here, okay, once it gets here, it will check the while loop. It start less than or equal to end. Of course, start here is 1, end is 10. So it is true. So it will come inside here and print start. Start here will be 1. Then after that, it will now come here and increment start. Start will now be 2 because we're doing plus plus. Start will now be 2. It will come again and check. Is 2 less, because it will go back to the condition again and check it again. Is start less than or equal to end? Here now, start is now 2. 2 is less than 10. So it will come back to the block of code to come back here and print. It will continue to do this thing until start is no longer less than or equal to 10. So if I go on and run this code, it's going to print from 1 to 10. Do you see it? Because now when it got to 10, when start became 10, when it printed this 10, it will now come down here and check and increment start. Here, start will now be 11. It will now come back and check. Is 11 less than or equal to 10? Of course, it is not true. So it has evaluated to false. So it will now exit. I don't know if you get it. Okay. Now let me do this to show you that it somehow gets out of there. Let me say this is the end. Okay, I'm trying to explain this thing better. Now look at it. This is the end. Will never print until this while loop ends. And when will the while loop end? The while loop will only end when the expression inside this parenthesis evaluates to false. That is when it will end. Okay. If you don't understand this, I want you to watch this video over and over again. Now watch it like 2-3 times so that it can sink. That is how we learn. That is how we learn. We watch, we read, we watch, we read over and over so that it will sink. So do the same thing. Okay. Practice it. Okay. So look at it. This code will run. When you run this code, it will first of all create this variable for you. Remember what variables are. I'm not going to talk about it. To create this variable, to create this other one, it will start the three. First of all, the line 2 will not run because it is a comment. Remember, compilers do not run comments. So the line 3 will first of all run. Line 4 will run. Line 5 will run. Okay, but normally it is supposed to run and come down to line 9, but it will not run that way because we are trying to repeat a task inside of this while block, okay, this while loop. Now, when it gets to the line 5, it will check is start less than or equal to end. Remember, start here is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to end is 10? Of course, it is true. As long as this expression evaluates to true, it will come and now print start. Once after printing start, it will now increment the start variable. Start used to be 1. Now, if you add plus plus, is just add 1 to it. Start plus plus will now be 2. It will go back to the while loop and check again this condition. Is it true or false? Here, start is 2, end is 10. Of course, it will evaluate to true because 2 is less than end. It's less than 10. It will keep on doing this thing until start is no longer, start will now be 11. Because once it prints 10, it will increment start will now be 11. 11 is, it will not check, is 11 less than or equal to 10? Of course, it's not true. It will not leave this block and not print this one. But normally you think that this is the end will print. After this first time, it will not do that. It will not print because we are still in the while loop. We are still repeating this task inside this code block. These 2 lines will keep on repeating until this expression evaluates to false. Okay, so if I run this, it is going to print, you see it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 before it now ends. Why did this loop end? Because the condition inside that parenthesis evaluated to false. Okay, so I will give you an assignment. Your assignment here is this. Okay, I want you to, here I printed from 1 to 10. I want you to print from 1 to 20. All right, I want you to print from 1 to 20. It is very simple. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you should know what to do. Basically, you should change your end because from your end, all right, here we are printing from 1 to 10 and we'll stop at 10. So if you want to print from 1 to 20, change your end to 20 and print it, okay? And I want you to now look at your assignment here, okay? Okay, leave the first one I said. Okay, first of all, print, your first assignment is print from 1 to 20. Okay, that is your first assignment. Your second assignment is this. I want you to print from 1 to 5, but your end will still be 10. Your end will still be 10, but I want you to print from 1 to 10, from 1 to 5. So what does it mean? Okay, I want to do it. Okay, if you find it difficult, make sure you do this assignment. If you find it difficult, chat me up and I will tell you what to do. But try it yourself. Okay, try it yourself. Think outside the box. I want you to stop at 5. Okay, so it is very simple. Make sure that your condition, the condition you're checking, that condition inside the parenthesis, just short, make it short so that it will end at 5. Okay, so if you find it difficult, just let me know and I will tell you what to do. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, share, share so that your friends and family members who want to learn software development can also look at this. Thank you very much. Chat me up if you need more clarifications, chat me up if you run into any difficulty, and I will be here to help you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.